Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Big Donch Podcast, Ep.7 of our Sports World Weekly. Today, we're going to be discussing NFL, NBA, and some fighting, like I usually do every week. But this week, I'll be covering the Lakers versus Warriors, huge matchup for tonight. LeBron versus Curry, two of the best players in the league. And then we'll talk some baseball with Ohtani, absolutely playing amazing this year, having an MVP season, especially now that Mike Trout is out. And then some fighting news over the weekend. Wilder versus Fury now. Apparently, Wilder is, trying to fight Fury before the Joshua fight, so we'll get a little bit into that, as well as some NFL news. But like all Big Donch podcasts, I usually like to start off with the NFL first because that is my favorite league, favorite sport, but not much going on now. Obviously reasonable because of some off-season and not really much, signings and things like that. But definitely something I want to talk about is some conversation that happened over the past couple of days is what's harder, NFL or NBA championship? And I'll give you my thoughts. Well, first off, I just want to say an NFL championship is harder than an NBA championship. I say this because NBA, you have 7 chances. Well, you're guaranteed, you're guaranteed 7, but you can get it done at 4. So you have so many chances. NFL, you only have 1 chance. One play can mess up the whole entire game. And then we talk about regular season, because obviously you got to have a good regular season record to make it to the championship. Well, one little play can mess up where you are, in playoff standings and if you make the playoffs or not, or, what seed you are. One mess up play could obviously result in injury. Now, I know that can happen in any sport, but NFL, there's more at risk with one simple play by a player. NBA, you make a mistake in game 1, you have game 2. You make a mistake in game 2, you have game 3, and so on. Only way you can really say, if you make a mistake is really game 7. But you shouldn't have let it get to game 7. You know what I'm saying? Now, I understand it both incredibly difficult to win a championship in both. However, NFL, you only get 1 chance. The Buccaneers, what they did the past season, winning the Super Bowl, absolutely insane. Something that is way more impressive, definitely way more harder than the Warriors or who else, the Lakers winning a championship, because they basically are just the better overall team. They had more superstars, so it's definitely easier. They had a lot more games to, work on and get better compared to the NFL. Buccaneers turned their season around from a losing record, missing playoffs 2 years ago, to having a whole new system, a bunch of new players, and then basically bring a terrible franchise to a Super Bowl in just one game against arguably one of the best offenses of all time with the Kansas City Chiefs. So that's why I'm going to say the NFL is harder than an NBA championship. And I know it's a lot popular out there that people will agree with me that the NFL is harder than the NBA when it comes to championships. And overall, I just think in general, the NFL takes more skill than the NBA. Sorry, I said it, but I think that it's a lot harder to become a star in the NFL than it is in the NBA. Now, one more topic I want to talk about NFL-wise is my thoughts on the number change. This has been going on for a couple of weeks. They did have it passed. Didn't really give my thoughts really on it. I just want to say I'm not the biggest fan. I'm usually a traditionalist when it comes to sports. I like things have to stay how they are, how they were when I was growing up. Obviously, something like wearing a single-digit number for a wide receiver was not a thing ever, and I wish it could always stay like that. But obviously times change. I think it was unnecessary to change it. But also, I gotta, see other people's viewpoint. How does it affect me? How does it bother me? It doesn't. But, like I said, I'm a traditionalist when it comes to sports. So it's gonna hurt a little bit. It's gonna be a little weird to see. Let's say Christian McCaffrey switches number 5 when he was number 22, I'm pretty sure, his whole NFL career. It's going to be a bit weird. I don't like it. I like how it is. College, high school, wear your single-digit numbers wherever you want. NFL, it's been like that for years. Why not just keep it like that? But yeah, obviously, I'm not going to protest the NFL and say, write a petition saying what you did was wrong. No, I'm obviously going to watch the NFL. I don't really care that much, but not the biggest fan of it. I wish they didn't do it. But also you could think about how it affects people is, let's say, all right, I'm a Steelers fan, but I'm going to use Christian McCaffrey again as an example because I think he posted an Instagram post today about him switching number 5. Let's say yesterday, all right, I just spent $100 on a Christian McCaffrey jersey, okay, number 22. And anybody who knows, NFL jerseys are really expensive. Number 22, okay? Today, let's just say he announces he's switching to 5, official. Well, I just wasted $100 on my favorite player, Christian McCaffrey. Now what do I do? You know what I'm saying? That's when I see it could be an effect. But other than that, obviously it doesn't affect me. But, I just like to see things stay the way they are for years. But obviously, times change. So let's roll over to the NBA. And sorry, you probably can't understand or can't really tell on the podcast. But if you're watching on YouTube, like I always do, I always just like to upload to YouTube just to have it. Obviously, my main focus is Spotify and Anchor for the viewers. But YouTube, I just like to have it up there. Don't really edit much. The quality is usually not the best. Anyway, I have allergies. I've been suffering allergies basically all month, mainly because the change of season and the pollen and all like that. But yeah, so if it looks like I'm crying and I'm sniffling a lot, I have allergies. But anyway, let's roll over to the NBA. So right now, Memphis is destroying Sacramento in the play-in tournament, which, let me get into that real quick, is absolutely confusing, but you really have to study it to understand it. I kind of like it. At first, I was not the biggest fan because, like I say, I'm a traditionalist when it comes to sports. I kind of do like it. It gives it an extra chance, and, I was mentioning about how hard it is to win a championship. You only get one chance. The Spurs, they're losing 23-6 right now. You only get one chance. Well, actually, I don't know how it is in Spurs case, but yesterday, let's use the example. The Hornets, okay? If they lost, they were done. They did lose, so they're done for the year. If they won, they would keep moving. But since they lost, they're done for the year. I like that, actually. It gives, two teams a chance to continue, or they're out. I actually like to play in tournament. It is a bit confusing. I'm actually a fan of it. I like to see it next year. I guess I could say that as I'm a Sixers fan with the first seed in the playoffs. But, yeah, I'm actually watching it live on my laptop right now on ESPN. I don't know how. I think I'm because I'm logged in with my network provider. But that's pretty cool. Yeah, they're losing 23-6. Spurs, though, not the best team. Obviously, since they lost Kawhi, Duncan, Ginobili, Tony Parker, all those good legends. Obviously not the same. Greg Popovich is getting old. Probably going to retire. Anyway, let's get to my main headline, though. Lakers versus Warriors tonight. 10 o'clock game. I never stay up for 10 o'clock NBA games. But I'm going to try to watch at least the first half of it tonight. Definitely going to be an exciting game. Teams with not the best records in the NBA, but two solid players with LeBron James and Steph Curry. Definitely exciting to see. I don't know who's going to win. I mean, usually I like to predict games. Usually I'm really confident. I'm set on, teams. And, let's say I'm voting for Golden State. I'm usually confident that if I say Golden State's going to win, I'm rooting for Golden State. I'm saying they're going to win. Listen, I'd like to see Golden State win, mainly because of the situation that they're in with, injuries and things like that. But I don't know. I'm not saying the Lakers are going to win. I'm not saying the Golden State Warriors are going to win. I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be a close game. It could go either way. So that is that. We're seeing LeBron James, though, getting older, obviously. Not declining much. Still one of the best players in the league, obviously. That ankle injury really changed him a little off. But we'll see tonight, obviously. We know he's probably going to average close to a triple-double. But, anybody who watches LeBron James over the years knows that he's just a different player in the playoffs. He's, probably the best player in the world when he's playing in the playoffs compared to regular season. But we'll see tonight. And Steph Curry, too, though. Obviously, Steph Curry, 3-time champion. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Well, that is Lakers versus Warriors. Make sure to tune in. One of these days, I really got to live stream a game. I'll plan to live stream maybe the finals. I love live streaming. I really do. It's just so hard, summer nights, trying to work out, got a job. It's hard to live stream compared to doing it in the winter. Love live streaming the Steelers versus Browns game and and the Super Bowl. Live streaming those games. They were fun. Brought in a lot of viewers. Anyway, that is Lakers versus Warriors. Also want to continue with the tourney, NBA tourney. Sixers and Jazz get first seed. Happy for the Sixers. First time they got first seed in a while. I'm a Sixers fan. Remember a couple years ago they were worst in the league. Now they're first in the NBA. I'm excited though. They are playing, let me see. I think they're playing the Pacers now that the Pacers won yesterday. I cannot recall. I cannot think. That's why I actually have to look into the play-in tourney. But whoever they're playing, I think they're gonna win. Maybe not a sweep. Maybe I'll lose a game because they're the Sixers and they're not that good. Okay, I don't think they're the best team in the NBA. I think the Nets and the Jazz are better, but they should win the first series, but not sweep. If you're trying to see what I'm saying. I also don't think the Sixers are going to win the championship this year, even though they're first seed. I do think they're going to play in the Eastern Conference Finals and lose to the Nets. That's my prediction. Sorry to be a downer on my team, but that's just how it goes. We see over the years, the Sixers are not really that good yet. They really need a good shooter. They have Danny Green. They have a couple other players who can shoot, but not good enough. Not really lights out like we need. We need like J.J. Redick or somebody like that. Obviously, J.J. Redick leaving the Sixers. But, yeah, excited to see, though. And then Jazz. Jazz is a really good team. Great defensive team. Donovan Mitchell. And then Rudy Gobert, one of my favorite centers in the league just because he's a main defensive fundamental player. And I love those types of players. So that is some NBA talk. Also, I want to include, though, that the Wizards got destroyed yesterday by the Celtics. I'm pretty sure Tatum had like 50 points. But Russell Westbrook, giving it his all. Absolutely insane how he's playing lately. Yeah, he's not done though. I think he's playing. I don't know who he's playing in the next, but I think it's a 4-game series. Gonna be rough for the Wizards though. They're a bad team, but I think if Beal and Westbrook are staying there, they find a good big man for them to, help with. I think the Wizards could be a problem. That's all they really need. So that is my NBA talk. Let's wrap that up. Let's get into some MLB. Taking it easy today. Not really a long podcast. If you watched my last podcast, that was because it was like a half hour, mainly because I didn't make a podcast in forever. I wanted to cover the big news over those weeks that I missed. But MLB, let's talk some Angels. Probably the MVP candidate right now. Let's look him up. Ohtani is his name. I don't want to pronounce his first name wrong. It's Shoei. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, Shohei. I have terrible eyesight right now because the LED light shining in my eyes right now. Anyway, yes, so I'm going to pronounce it, Shohei Ohtani. Hopefully I said it right, but absolutely insane. For a pitcher, played some right fielder, designated hitter, just absolutely insane how he's playing right now. Rookie card value, $100,000, jeez. Absolutely playing insane right now. He is batting with an average of 271. Okay, I thought it was better than that actually. But he is leading the league with 14 home runs. So that's obviously very impressive. I mean, 2019, he batted... What was it? Oh, I'm sorry, I was on the wrong thing. I was looking at OBP 343. Wrong thing. But batted 271, still pretty good. Okay, 14 home runs, so that's let's focus on that. Leading the league as a pitcher, okay, with 14 home runs is insane. That's why he is my MVP right now. Not many people could do that. He pitched one game so far, only giving up a run, and had the win. So probably going to pitch a couple more times, obviously, this year. We got to wait and see how he is pitching-wise. I don't think he's going to win the MVP just off of batting. Depends how he is on pitching. If he does really good at pitching or just average in pitching, I think he should be the MVP. Especially that Mike Trout got injured. Obviously, he's not out for the season, but that calf pain, he's projected to miss like 6 to 8 weeks. He was probably up there for MVP talks like he is every year. Best player in the league. But obviously, injuries change MVP seasons. We saw with Joel Embiid this year having an MVP season, got injured, missed a lot of games. Now he's basically out of the talks. Same thing with LeBron. LeBron's always in the MVP talks. Missed a couple of games. He's out of it now. So it's basically just, who's consistent, who's playing. Hopefully Ohtani doesn't get injured. That's that. Now, MLB's wrapped up. NBA's wrapped up. NFL's wrapped up. I gave you all my thoughts. Hopefully you're enjoying listening. I'm having some fun. Love making these podcasts. Continue to make them all summer. But let's get into some fighting news right now. Past couple of days, past couple of weeks, past couple of months, past couple of years, it's just been Fury versus Joshua, actually. I'm so excited for it. But I think it was yesterday or 2 days before, some conflicts came up with Deontay Wilder, another popular, very good heavyweight boxer, wanting to fight Fury before September or something. I guess it was on a contract or something. I don't know. I never heard of it. I don't know why Fury was I'm a Fury fan, but I don't know why Fury was like ignoring it and like trying to focus on Joshua if he knew that this stuff was on the contract. You can't blame Wilder for this, though. I know a lot of people are hating Wilder for this. Listen, it's not his fault that Wilder wants to fight. It's not his fault he wants the money. He wants to face a good boxer. If anything, he's really the only boxer in the boxing world today that is actually looking for fights. I mean, you look at these other top-tier boxers, not only in the heavyweight division, but all across. No one's really wanting to fight the best. They're always either just not fighting at all or just trying to fight the easiest matches. Obviously, Tyson Fury is the best heavyweight in the world right now, in my opinion, and pound for pound, probably top 5. But yeah, Wilder wanting to fight Fury again for the 3rd time. Nothing wrong with it. Obviously going to get boring. You saw it the past 2 times. I think it's going to be a good fight. Wilder's been working a lot, especially on his footwork. But so is Fury. I still have Fury winning. But what I'm really excited to see, though, is Joshua versus Fury. The 2 best heavyweights. I think Wilder is 3, then Ruiz 4, and then probably Dillian Whyte, maybe 5. I don't really know who would be 5. But yeah, Fury versus Wilder is going to be a fun fight. But I'm really excited for Fury versus Joshua. That's going to be the best. Depends where they fight. I think they're saying like Saudi Arabia. I'm not sure, but it's going to be a fun fight. Love boxing. Got into it a couple years ago, 2 years ago, watching fights. Grew up always watching Pacquiao and Mayweather. Not fighting, obviously. They only fought once, but watching them two in general. Just fight, and then seeing Mike Tyson highlights, and then getting into UFC, watching McGregor, the Diaz brothers. Always fun. That's why I got into fighting. I am a big UFC guy, too. Over the weekend, we saw Chandler lose an upset. Was surprised with that. Tony Ferguson also losing. Crazy, though. He got in that leg lock. Didn't want to tap. I would be crying. My ankle twisted like that. Absolutely insane. 2 tough fighters with the loss, though. Good world we're living in, UFC-wise. I just wish it would be the same with boxing. We do have McGregor versus Poirier in the next couple weeks, or next couple months. No, I'm sorry, next couple weeks. Their rematch for the 3rd time as well. I will be surprised if McGregor loses again. I obviously was surprised with him losing last time, but 2 times in a row. And Poirier's not the best. He's not like some crazy maniac like Diaz and Khabib. So I don't know. I still have McGregor. So the next 2 big fights coming up: Wilder versus Fury, McGregor versus Poirier. I'm saying McGregor and Fury. But hopefully you guys enjoyed as I wrap up this podcast, episode 7 of our Sports World Weekly. Today we discussed what's harder, an NFL or NBA championship, my thoughts on the number change. Then we got into some NBA, talking about my thoughts on the play-in tournament, Lakers versus Warriors tonight, and some Sixers and Jazz talk on who's the best in the league. Then switched over to MLB for a little, talked about Angels Ohtani, who in my opinion is the MVP candidate right now, and then some fighting. We discussed the Fury versus Wilder, and also Fury versus Joshua, and then as well as some UFC talk. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I love making these podcasts with you guys. Recording 18 minutes on the app Anchor. This will be uploaded to the app Anchor as well as Spotify. Definitely glad I have my own little show or episodes on Spotify. So definitely check that out. And obviously check out my YouTube. I post videos basically every day. Besides Sundays, now I'm taking Sundays off. But for this whole summer, I plan to post every day. I post soccer, football, baseball, basketball, rugby, cricket, podcast, my thoughts on the sports world every day. Hopefully you guys take a look. Hopefully you guys enjoy what I'm posting. But that's it for now. See you guys tomorrow. I'm out. Peace.